Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 8:17:25. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद महाराज की अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम की नवदीप मायापुर धाम की श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माई की यमुना माई की तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे हरे बोल। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishtai Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikas Swami Niti Namane. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Canto 8, Chapter 17, Text 25. Shri Brahma Uvacha Jaya Urugaya Bhagwan Urukrama Namastute Nama Brahmanya Devaya Trigunaya Namaha. It's Namo actually, I don't know here, it is Namo. Anyway. Shri Brahmo Vacha Jayorgaya Bhagwan Urukrama Namostute Namo Brahmanya Devaya Trigunaya Namo Namaha Shri Brahmo Vacha Jayorgaya Bhagwan Urukrama Namostute Namo Brahmanya Devaya Trigunaya Namo Namaha Shri Brahmo Vacha Jayarugaya Bhagavan Urukrama Namostute Namo Brahmanya Devaya Trigunaya Namo Namaha. Please repeat. Shri Brahmo Vacha Jayarugaya Bhagavan Urukrama Namostute Vamanadeva Omaya Namo Namaha.
Shri Brahma Vacha
Shri Brahma Vacha
Jayorugaya Bhagavan
Jayarugaya Bhagavan
Rukrama Namostute
Urukrama Namostute
Namo Brahmanya Devaya
Vamanadevaya
Gunaya Namo Namaha
Shri Brahmo Vacha Shri Brahmo Vacha Jayorugaya Bhagavan Jayorugaya Bhagavan Urukrama Namostute
Namostute
Namo Brahmanya Devaya Gunaya Namo Namaha
Anybody else from here? Okay. Anybody wants to repeat? Okay, Mataji's. Shri Brahmo Vacha Jarugaya Bhagavan Urukrama Namostute Namo Brahmana Devaya Vigunaya Namo Namaha. Shri Brahma Vacha Jarugaya Bhagavan Urukrama Namostute Brahmana Devaya Vigunaya Namo Namaha. Okay, word to word translation. Shri Brahma Uvacha. Lord Brahma offered prayers. Jaya, all glories. Thank you. Urugaya, unto the Lord who is constantly glorified. Bhagavan, O my Lord. Urukrama, whose activities are very glorious. Namastute. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Namaha, my respectful obeisances. Brahmanya Devaya, unto the Lord of the Transcendentalists. Trigunaya, the controller of the three modes of nature. Here it is Namo, actually there is some correction in this, I don't know. Namo Namaha, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again. So, there is just translation for this. So, we'll read the next two verses also. Lord Brahma said, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, all glories unto you, who are glorified by all and whose activities are all uncommon. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, O Lord of the Transcendentalists, controller of the three modes of nature. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again. Next verse 26. So I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, the all-pervading Lord Vishnu, who have entered the course of the hearts of all living entities. All the three worlds reside within you, your navel, yet you are above the three worlds. Formerly you appeared as the son of Vrishni. To you, the Supreme Creator, who are understood only through Vedic knowledge, I offer my respectful obeisances. Verse 27. O my Lord, you are the beginning, the manifestation, and the ultimate dissolution of the three worlds. And you are celebrated in the Vedas as the reservoir of the unlimited potencies, the Supreme Person. O my Lord, as waves attract branches and leaves that have fallen into deep water, you, the supreme eternal time factor, attract everything in the universe. The time factor is sometimes described as Kala Stotra, waves of time. Everything in this material world is within the time factor and is being carried away by waves of attraction, which represents the supreme personality of Godhead. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sopadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Saudutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayati Girim Yat Kripatam Vande Shri Guru Dinatharinam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishtaye Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayevcha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishtaye Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivikas Swaminiti Namine Hare Krishna. So today there are two occasions. First is Vaman Dwadashi, the appearance of Lord Vaman, and second is Srila Jiva Goswami's appearance. So we have a very short time, so I'll just try to give a summary of the appearance of Lord Vamanadeva. So Aditi, the mother of demigods, she was in a situation where she was trying to save her sons, because the demons were this time, they were heavy. The asuras sometimes are, they are powerful, and sometimes the suras. So this was the time when the demons or the asuras, they were powerful. So she seek help from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So she prayed him, and in her prayers to the Lord, she once again. She did some austerities, like she did the Prayavrata, wherein for 12 days they fast from milk actually. Yeah, and various austerities they do normally, like sleeping on the floor, or I've seen many austerities, like in India we see like sleeping on the floor, or you don't wear any footwear, so many things. But that's what I heard, they don't drink milk for 12 days. So she did immense austerities, and the Lord was pleased by her austerity. Austerity doesn't mean just like we fast from something or we don't drink water. There are many people during Nirjal, they do austerity of fasting from water. But then they are craving for water and they don't remember the Supreme Person of Godhead. So what's the point in that then? Such austerities are of no use actually. So she did even prayers and the glories she recited, because his Prayavrat which is done, that is also a glorification of the Supreme Lord. So, and at the same time, Kashyap Muni, her husband, he also did austerities. And finally, by their austerity, by the austerity of both the husband and wife, the Lord appeared. So in Grihastha life, it is very important that both of them, they enter in this Grihastha ashram. It's called ashram. So Prabhupada, that they define ashram means it's a place where you glorify the Lord and the Lord is the center of all activities. So in Grihastha ashram also, one should do these activities. Not that one person, maybe husband is trying to do austerities and the wife is pulling him, or the wife is trying to do austerities and the husband is pulling. So both should help each other actually. It's not an ashram where we have some liberty to enjoy, which the brahmacharis or the renouncants, they can't do, isn't it? It's an ashram where together, coming together, you worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead and you help each other basically. In this, so that you both go cooperatively in devotional life. So it's like sometimes in the kitchen, there are two cooks because the other is meant to help. It's not that the other is meant to come and disturb him, isn't it? So if that happens, what will happen? We'll not have a beautiful fish that we have. So there should be cooperation among devotees, specifically I was talking about Grihastha ashram. So their cooperation is required, very much required. It's an ashram where more tolerance is required than brahmachari ashram. Yeah, because maybe the husband and wife may differ in nature and so many things may happen, Like in the kitchen you go, you pull one knife or you pull one spoon, and while pulling the spoon, it touches with different spoons or maybe other knives and sound happens, It's like it can't be a quiet place, kitchen, isn't it? Normally. We try to do, but then still it happens. So like that in Grihastha ashram, sound is going to happen. So that is a sign, because that means you should cooperatively go in this ashram. So we see from the example of Aditi and Kashyap Muni that how they both perform austerities. It's not that one was performing austerities and the other said, oh, no, I want to speak with you or I want to do this thing and we all should go shopping and this and that. If that was the case, why would the Supreme Personality of Godhead appear? Isn't it? So he appeared because he was pleased by the austerities of both of them. And specifically it is written in the previous purport that he was specifically pleased by the austerities of Kashyap Muni. There is no differentiation, like we are not saying that, but it is mentioned in the purport. So both of them did this austerity and the Lord was pleased and he finally appeared. So at that point he said that the sufferings that are being done to your children, they won't immediately end, but then he says, Namai Bhakta Prayanashati, that my devotee never perishes. So he says that time that this resolution will happen, but it will after some time, isn't it? So then further he appears as their son, as Vamanadeva he appears. So when he appears, that time all the constellations, they are all auspicious. Even if it is a time where, these things shouldn't happen. Like Lord Chaitanya's time, it was like totally dark and then everybody went in the Ganges for bathing, and even the Muslims, they were, when the Lord appeared, they started chanting the names of the Lord, the holy name of Lord. So similarly, when Lord Vamanadeva appeared, the constellation Abhijit, there are various constellations which, when they appear, they bring auspiciousness, and the other ones, they bring unauspiciousness. So that's the reason we see maybe the stars and astrology, so many things. Of course, devotees should not be so much concerned, but then if you are not pure, these are going to affect us. So the better thing is to gain purity, to gain the favor of the Lord. So if he desires, we will get distress. If he desires, we will get happiness. And if he gives us that, then he will give us the strength to even face that, Like happiness can also be a point where, you may end up in a wrong position. Like in India, it happened that one person, his son, he gained highest percentage in IS as an IS officer. And hearing that, that person died out of heart attack. So in both the cases, you should be calm enough Like in distress, you should be calm enough that if you have knowledge, the distress will not cause you problems. That this sometimes somebody does something to you. So you may recount, okay, maybe something I must have done in this life or previous life to him, isn't it? If somebody dies in a family and if you have this knowledge of soul, so it's very difficult, it's very easy for you to, not get into deep distress. In fact, you may end up praying, understanding the philosophy of life. I've seen when my mother passed, my sisters, brothers, everybody was crying so much, but then for me it was not affecting so much because I understood that she was a soul and she had to leave this body one fine day. And later when we do various ceremonies where for 13 days, so at the 13th day I distributed books to the people coming there. And that way my mother also got mercy. So the knowledge helped. But my siblings, they were like ignorant and they were crying, and after months also we were not able to console them. So see how much the books are helping to us. So anyway, the point was the Lord appeared, and when he appeared, he doesn't appear like us, separated from the umbilical cord and full of dirt. When they remove us, they wash us because we are full of, it's like, it's like a stool bath we are having in the womb, because what is the womb? We pass at the same place, isn't it? We eat and we pass, and small worms are, developed there. So much dirty place it is, and that place. But the Lord, when he appears, he doesn't appear that way, He has all the, all his paraphernalia with him, and even the demigods or other great personalities, they want to offer so many things to him. So when Lord Vamanadeva appeared, he was offered so many things. There are the few ones that I'll mention here. So when he appeared, immediately the Upanayan, means the thread giving ceremony, was done of Lord Vamanadeva. Normally it is done after some time, some years maybe. So, once again. So normally it is done after some years, but it was immediately done for him. Because he is the Supreme Brahman. He is all knowledgeable. He is not ignorant like us. Like whenever, as soon as we are born, we start sucking our thumbs, or so many things, isn't it? So then the various demigods, the great personalities, they came and they surrounded the Lord, and one by one, many of them offered many things to the Lord. So we have this beautiful picture on the 8th canto, where Lord Vamanadeva is there, and he is wearing different paraphernalia over there. And so there, when the sages perform Upanayan, so Surya Dev, he himself gave him Gayatri to him, isn't it? So then Brahaspati gave him the sacred thread. Like if we get Prabhupada's thread at this time, like I remember one past time where HG Prabhu had that thread, and somehow, even when it was not to be used, he wanted to use that because it was belonging to Prabhupada. So like that, here we see that Brahaspati is giving the sacred thread. So Kashyap gave the girdle and the munja grass that he is wearing as a belt, Munja grass is one kind of like belt kind of thing you see, then the Lord is wearing, that he gave. Then the moon gave him danda, and Aditi gave him the lion cloth. Brahma gave him kumandala, water jar. So the Saptarishis gave him darba grass. Kuber gave him bhiksha vessel. So if Kuber is giving bhiksha vessel, or what will happen in the future, he will get everything, isn't it? That's what we see further. So, and first bhiksha was given by Parvati herself. Uma Devi she is called. So after his Upanayan, then Vamanadeva did a homa and cleaning the place and the four corners of the chosen place, he did the Samhita Dhan. So then after he did all this, so further, immediately after some time, he went to the sacrificial arena of the demons. So there, he entered and everybody was attracted to his effulgence, and his beauty. They all were attracted. Even the demons were attracted. We heard of the sister of Bali Maharaj, I think so, Ratnavali, her name. She is the one who was attracted to the Lord, and she felt that, that if I gain such a son, so beautiful it will happen. And this is not one-off case actually. Even Ravana's wife, Mandudari, she was attracted. She understood the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and she was attracted to the beauty of the Lord. And there is another, maybe one odd case is there. Few more are there. So, this Tara, Bali's wife, she was also attracted to the Lord. So, here the Lord appeared, and then he glorified. He was welcomed, and then he glorified Bali Maharaj, that you are the best of givers, and there is no one such a great conqueror like you all over the world, and you belong to the dynasty of the great Hiranyakashipu, who threatened all the world like this, Although he is the one who appeared and killed Hiranyakashipu, isn't it? And your relatives, there are glorious relatives like Hiranyaksh, his uncle, isn't it? So such glorious ways he, glorified him. So that is what maybe the book distributors, they have learned this Leela very nicely, it seems, They have read this pastime very nicely, because that's the way they do. Hello man, like here they do, hello man, how are you doing? And like this they say, and he says, I'm good, so where are you from? And so many questions, different way they ask, isn't it? Somebody says, like our Suresh Prabhu, he says, do you speak English? Do you speak English? Yeah, he's in the US, most of the times he'll be speaking English. So he says, yeah. So we have such nice books in English for you, and then he continues like that, So that is like for everybody there is a different way to deal. So like I was in Ireland, and there this Madhav Krishna, one god brother of ours, he was telling, he used to tell, like we were in Galway, are you come from Galway? Are you from Galway? He'll say, no. Oh, then if he says some place nearby, then he'll connect that to him, and then he'll distribute a book. So like that. So Vamanadeva, has given lessons to all the book distributors, maybe God knows. It's a big Leela where we get, how the Lord, if you see his personality, he came as a dwarf, with a short stature, a person with short stature is called Batuk Brahman or dwarf. So, we even see when Prabhupada was there, when he was walking among his disciples, Brahmanan and Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj and Garga Muni, and so such great person, and Prabhupada was of short stature. But then, he was like the person in the circus who's controlling all the lions like that. So such great personalities, like if you see them, Brahmanan and Tamal Krishna, like heavy personalities, but then they were totally surrendered. So it's said in Marathi that Murti Lahan, Kirti Mahan. Murti Lahan means your stature is small, but your Kirti Mahan, your glories are unlimited. So the Lord is like that. We see devotees are also like that. Prabhupada, he, not only Vamanadeva did this, even Prabhupada, he took everything from the materialists. Isn't it? Like they were conquering one city after another. Like immediately, I remember one thing once, he was going from via Delhi to Ahmedabad, and he met a gentleman, and he told about, what they are doing, and so many things he told. And the gentleman was impressed, and he told, yeah, whatever help I can give you, I will give you. And like he meant actually that. So then Prabhupada told Tejas Prabhu that, okay, you get down at Delhi. And he got down actually. So, and now if you see in Delhi, there are more than 15 centers in like temples, big temples. So, but when Tejas Prabhu got down, he didn't have a place also to stay actually. But then he stayed at a barber's place, and then slowly he gained momentum with the help of this person. So like that, Krishna, in all the activities that we are doing, he will ignite that spark. But that spark, you have to make it a fire, that is up to, that devotee has to do that. Yeah, like Prabhupada. Prabhupada was a Senapati Bhakt, but then he also had difficulties, isn't it? He had 3 heart attacks while he coming over here, and then he didn't have in a single penny, means he had Indian rupees worth 40 rupees, isn't it? And when he got out the Boston Harbor, it was like, before getting down, then, he went to Captain Pandya, the captain of that ship, and he told that, I don't have any penny, I don't have a single penny with me, but I have these Bhagavatam sets, why don't you take one? And it seems that he gave $20 to him. So Prabhupada was the first book distributor. So he gave that to Captain Pandya, and he got the $20, and then he went further. So that was not the one-odd situation. So many difficulties he had. So anyways, the point is, similarly, it's like the devotees. Even we see in Pune, Radhesham Prabhu came, and now we have 3 ISKCON temples in Pune. And on Sunday feast, more than 5,000 people come, and youths are becoming brahmacharis, hundreds and two, around more than 100 youths are there who are brahmacharis, saffron and white, and so many, and they do preaching in all the IITs, so many things. It's just like Vamanadeva spread, like how it is spread. So devotees also given the strength by Vamanadeva specifically, you can say, isn't it? Or any form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he will give you strength. Like in Mayapur, the Lord Ugra Narsingha, he helped you, Or it was very difficult to sustain in Mayapur. It was like surrounded by gangs and dacoits, and they are like heavy people. I know in Bihar and West Bengal, it's like they will kill you for property. Now also it is happening. So then Vamanadeva glorified him, and finally he came to his point, like the way we book distributors come to the point that, so he came to his point that you are known for giving alms, and so finally Bali Maharaj, he would never displease the Brahmanas, although he was supporting the demons. But then he said, "Oh Batuk Brahmana, oh dwarf, Vamanadeva," he said, "Oh Brahmana, ask whatever you want in the 3 worlds." And then Vamanadeva, he said, "I just want 3 steps for me, 3 steps of land I want for me." So he says, like if you go to Alfred Ford, or maybe if you go to Dhirubhai Ambani in India, and he owns crores and crores, he's the richest person in India or Asia. So if you go to him and if you say, we are celebrating Janma, if you get a chance to meet him, first of all you need to get an appointment and chance, and somebody has to link you, so many things and finally you go there. And then he says, we are celebrating Janmashtami in Mumbai at a big scale, and we want your support so that we can serve the people during the festival. And he said, "What you want?" And he says, "Can you give 1,000 rupees or maybe 100 rupees? And so it will be foolish, isn't it? So like that, if like as book distributors or as devotees, sometimes Krishna gives us that signs, that speak this thing or do this way, ask this donation. So that time the Paramatma is telling us we should go further. Sometimes it's like we use our intelligence, and maybe he is ready to give a bigger donation, and we end up taking lesser, or so many things happen, isn't it? So like that means we also, like Vamanadeva, we have to be cautious when to do what and where it should be done. Everything should be known to us. But of course, if you surrender to Supreme Lord, this is going to happen. So then Bali Maharaj says, it's like a foolish proposal. You are like, I thought you were an intelligent Brahman by your effulgence, and so why don't you ask for more, he says. He says, I can give you anything. You can ask an island, or you can ask one kingdom, or whatever. That time Vamanadeva says very beautifully, to him. He says that if I am not satisfied by 3 steps of land, then the entire universe won't satisfy me. Like sometimes we are eating prasadam and you want to eat this also and this also. So that time you don't get satisfaction. If we eat patiently, one by one, so similarly, we have to do what things we are doing at that moment, we have to concentrate on that. Not to like we have this pastime of Sheikh Chilli, where you're sitting on a tree and dreaming, oh, I'll cut this wood, and then I'll go and sell it, and after selling that, I'll get money, and from that, I'll buy one cow, and from the cow will give milk, and after selling that milk, I'll have 2 buffaloes, and after selling, then I'll have a big house, and then I'll have a very beautiful wife, and she will bring something in some kind of, in India, in the olden times, in earthen pots, they used to bring food, and she will bring food in the earthen pot, and then, he says that he says that to himself that, oh, this food is not good, and he will bang that, and in that remembrance, he takes the axe and he cuts that branch on which he is sitting. So like that it happens, So anyway, so the point is, Vamanadeva told that this is what I want finally, and there he was. Then the next step happened, like then Vamanadeva, who was of short stature, I said previously once saying in Marathi that Murti Lahan Pur Kirti Mahan. So he expanded his Kirti. Kirti means his glories he expanded. And in first step, he covered the whole skies. And then the second, entire land. So there was nothing left. And then we finally know that, because time is short, because 8:30 we have to end. So finally Bali Maharaj, Bali Maharaj was advised by his guru, Shukracharya. Shukracharya means one who's born out of sperm, or Prabhupada says that the people who are after money and they speak Bhagavad Gita, such kind of guru was he. So he misguided him that in time of difficulties or in some jokingly way, if you have said something to somebody, you can break that promise. So many things he teaches him. But then Bali Maharaj says that if the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he wants something from me, why should I go take a step back? And I won't give my promise, that I have given a Brahmana. And that time, Bali Maharaj, Vamanadeva says that, where should I keep the third step? And that point, Bali Maharaj offers himself. And it is one of the angas that we see of Atmanivedana. He offers himself. So offering oneself means doing what the Supreme Personality of Godhead wants, and not what we want. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. He's saying, aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishami masucha. So give up all kind of religion. That means you should give your own concoction of what the Lord wants also. Like Bali Maharaj didn't thought for a moment, and he gave up himself. And then he was tied by the Varun Pash, and then that time Ratnavali, the sister of Bali Maharaj, initially she felt love for the Lord, and then she later felt, he's causing trouble to my brother, and then she felt like a demoness, and that's where she entered into the Krishna Leela. She got a chance to get into Krishna Leela anyway, because she had the desire of a mother, but then that desire turned out later to be demonic. Like sometimes the Lord it happens that we have plans, and if Krishna is not satisfying, then we are there to point at fingers at Krishna also. So like that same thought process actually. So there should not be a tinge of material desires or anything of any kind when we are doing service of the Lord, or when we are serving devotees. Like Prabhupada, if he had one apple, he used to give to all devotees. So like that, if we have something to give it to the devotees, then we should distribute among every devotee. Because the devotees are the heart of the Lord. So example, like Prabhupada, many times he was worried about his disciples. When Brahmanand went to Pakistan, he was worried about him. And so many places we see that he was worried about his disciples. So he said that he himself taught by his example, that how we should be dealing with devotees and non-devotees, everything he taught. So anyway, the point is, then Vamanadeva, then he was tried with the Varun Pash, and all his associates, they were defeated. And then later, the Lord laid his mercy on Bali Maharaj. He said that I will be your doorkeeper eternally. And at the Sutal Lok, he is sitting as his doorkeeper. So who is going to do this in the material world? If you are working for the boss, he will say, okay, I'll be your doorkeeper forever. No, it won't happen, isn't it? He may show the doors to you, in fact, if you're not doing good. So then Bali Maharaj finally gives his mercy. So sometimes it may happen, Krishna will put us into difficulties, and we may feel, oh, what is this condition Krishna is putting me into? Or why my guru is telling me to go to north, I want to go to south. Or he's telling me that you become a brahmachari or you become a Krishna, and I'm using my own brain for that, So we may not understand the plans of the Supreme Lord at that moment, at that place, wherever we are. But then if we follow his orders, if we follow the orders of the superiors or the authorities who are giving the conclusion according to parampara, then we are going to somehow gain the strength to follow that orders. But you have to be patient and at the same time have faith that if the spiritual master, like Prabhupada took 11 years to take initiation, and to follow the orders it took so many years, isn't it? But then finally when he did it, there was nothing to compare, isn't it? So like that, here we went to I had to cut short many things actually. But then the pastimes of Vamanadeva are like glorious throughout the world, and all the paraphernalia or everything that he did was, it was so that the ordinary beings or our conditioned souls in the future, they get benefit by listening to his deeds, and even the devotees get lessons from that. So that is the way the pastimes of the Lord are there, wherein he teaches like how things can be done, how things should be done, which way it should be done. Like Lord Vamanadeva was very eloquent in whatever he did, whether it is speech or whether it is his understanding of things around. So like that, we as devotees should also, with this pastimes of the Lord, there are many lessons hidden in that, isn't it? It's like Indian sweets. You get many sweets in a box, and you eat one sweet and you feel, oh, this is anjeer vadi, this is mango, and so many different. So like that, so many things are there. It's a box full of treasures of knowledge, of Vedic scriptures. But then it will come slowly and you have to be patient. So like that. Anyway, Vaman Dwadashi ki Ide. So just 5 minutes we have. So I'll just like to, because it's still Jiva Goswami's appearance, so I'll just speak in a short time about him. So we all know that Jiva Goswami was related to Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, like as their nephew. And he in his childhood, he saw the interactions of Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and as a child, he gained that Vaishnava momentum there itself, So it's good for maybe Grahasthas to learn, like how, if we teach these dealings, if we have good dealings among devotees in front of our children or in front of, then they will get lessons to learn. So like that he saw, and in the childhood he used to pray with Krishna Balram's small dolls and all these things. And one day, in his dream, he saw that the dolls turned out to be Lord Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that way means just by seeing them, because he was associated with such great personalities, and even he got the association of the Supreme Lord, so that mercy was laid to him. And there, that fruit of devotion fructified, just by association of devotees. Yamunacharya says that if you can't do anything, you're not able to chant, you're not able to serve, or anything you're not able, no austerity you're able, just come and sit among Vaishnavas. What will happen? You'll see somebody chanting, somebody reading, somebody cooking or something. Then you'll end up joining, isn't it? When the people come over here, they end up becoming devotees because, and we as Vaishnavas also, we should give them association. So anyway, then further, he got to meet when he grew up. Before that, when he was a child, he was expert in this Bhagavad Shastra and grammar specifically. He understood that in a better way, and he was explored as a great Pandit in that. So later we see that turns out to be a service. Sometimes in our childhood, so many things we were doing. Maybe somebody was into marketing, or somebody was a good cook. Like I remember, I choose hotel management, wherein you teach all the culinary activities of cooking and all. But my father said, "Oh, you want to be a waiter or something, taking hotel management." And then later it turned out, when I did Pujari Seva, I had to learn cooking, and it was easy for me because from childhood I used to see our parents cook and our sisters cook, and so we learned so many things. And that time when DT, we used to serve the Lord as in his DT form. So like that desire to cook, that came there. Krishna told, okay, if you would have been excelled in hotel management, what would you do? You would be in an hotel cutting some meat or chicken, or maybe, I remember one of my friends who did hotel management, he ended up in the UK, and he owns a hotel, and there they make meat and chicken and beef. So being an Indian, he's doing all this, maybe what further karma is laid for him, he himself doesn't know. But that was laid for me, because I choose means I choose hotel management, but my father cut it down, So I'm thankful to him. So like that, that surrounding of parents and the impressions around us, that do help us. So we have to be always in a good company. Especially with devotees we should be. Or even if we are devotees, and if we are idols for somebody, we should make means our teaching should be such that they don't fall down. They grow somewhere in devotional life. So anyway, later, further when he grew up, he got to meet Nityanand Prabhu, and when he met him first time, he paid obeisances first time, second time he rolled in the dust where Nityanand Prabhu was there, and finally Nityanand Prabhu took hold of him and he blessed him with his mercy. And later, he helped Rup Goswami and Sanatan Goswami in editing various scriptures, specifically the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and all these things. So, and he has written more than 25 books, like Harinam Amrit Vyakran, which connects everything, every grammatical rule or everything is connected with Krishna. So that he wrote. Gopal Vrindavali, Rasamrut Shesh, Madhav Mahotsav, Brahma Samhita Tika, then Bhagavad Sandarbh, so many things. It's a list of many. So that he gained that because he associated with devotees, great personalities, and then he took their association. It's one thing to be in association of devotees, and it's one thing to associate with them. Means you take shelter of them. Isn't it? Why all devotees come in the same class, same place, but few get affected, Few immediately there are many devotees with Radhesham Prabhu, but then many of them learn the traits that he, being in his association, and they become pakka devotees, isn't it? There is pakka house and kacha house. Kacha house means immediately it may fall out of a wind also, and pakka means it will not, isn't it? There are various forts in India that till today they are standing. So why? That is pakka. So like that we should have firm association with devotees. So that he did, and whatever service was assigned to him, immediately. A servant means immediately. The master, before he is thinking, he is ready to do that thing. That is first class. He knows the mind of the master. So, like that later, when Rup Goswami and Sanatan Goswami got the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that time they gave him various services and he did that efficiently. Hmm? So there are many various pastimes, just one of few I'll tell and end over here. So once one, what is he, great scholar, Rupa Narayan, he was a conquering Pandit. He came and he said, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, that I want you to debate on the Vedas and various scriptures and, that way I want to do, or else this is I am a great Pandit and if you don't want to debate, this is a certificate where you accept defeat. Just sign on that. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami said that we have so many services aligned by the Lord, so they just signed and gave him. Then that same personality, he came to Jiva Goswami and he said, your uncle, he has given this signature on that he has been defeated, so do you want to debate with me or you want to give the signature? So like that. And Jiva Goswami, and he taunted, that to Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, I thought that they are like efficient in all the scriptures and so many things, but then they just accepted defeat without even debating, so what is the point? So you also give this. So he didn't feel bad for himself, that when he said that, but he felt that, he's putting fingers on Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. So that time he debated with him and he defeated him. And when he went back, Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, they were not happy with him. And they chastised him, and that time he did severe austerities. So like that, if we also do some, something that offended our authorities or guru, then we should seek their blessings and we should do such austerities via which, or things that will be pleasing to them. We should not be whimsical with our mind and do things that we feel are better. Isn't it? Sometimes in book distribution we met people who are taking our time. So it's better you can, just pick up your mobile, you can say, Prabhu, yes, I am coming. Like we did in India many times. On the book table, people used to come and they used to say, then suddenly the other devotee will call me or I'll just pick a phone and move from that place. Because he's wasting our time. Like Prabhupada once he was telling Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj in a lecture, he was giving lecture, he's picking him his stick and he's saying, Tamal, tell them about my books, So, but then Prabhupada finally told Tamal Krishna that what you are preaching will do, that this one book will do in 3 minutes. Means 3 minutes of, so you are preaching so much, but these books will do unlimited length. Because what is happening with the book, because you may go on speaking, but the person will debate and not accept and feel that you are not capable and so many things. But when he is taking this book, he is listening to the author. So when they take the book at their house and after when they open, then Prabhupada is giving them Bhagavatam class. It's a Bhagavatam class, mini Bhagavatam class, whichever way they read. And that way they are affected. And slowly they read and then, I remember Guru Maharaj went to maybe Singapore or Thailand, I don't remember exactly. He distributed one Back to Godhead magazine and that person became a great, he was told by somebody to go and he went and he distributed this magazine and that person became a devotee and that became a point for preaching in that place. So we never know what will happen. So whichever person comes so anyway, that was the glorious lives of Jiva Goswami. There is a lot of things to speak about him actually. But then, 8:30 is what the time was given and it's more than that. So anyway, just if you have any few small question or any doubts or any clarification or anything that I have wrong or spoken wrongly, you can just correct me over here. Yeah.
Prabhu, I just wanted one point of clarification in Bhakti Vikash Maharaj's Vyasa Puja offering. He was mentioning Yasomati Nandana Prabhu giving this analogy of Bali Maharaj, comparing him to Prabhupada. And I've heard the analogy a few times, but I still don't understand it entirely.
Yeah, see, Bali Maharaj was, he told about Vamanadeva, it seems, or just Bali Maharaj? I didn't get you.
He was saying that Srila Prabhupada was greater than Bali Maharaj.
Yeah, because see, maybe to what I understand, like Bali Maharaj is one of the Mahajanas. So Mahajanas means they know the essence of the whole, means the Vedas and everything they know. Like they understand dharma in and out. So in that case, if you see Prabhupada's, what Prabhupada gave, so he also gave something higher than that actually. Because even what blessings Lord Chaitanya couldn't give, he gave. He made the jivas understand in the most simplest way. Even a layman can understand that. So Bali Maharaj means Bali Maharaj understood the principles, or Yamaraj he understands the principle of dharma, and they give it, but mostly in a way that like it's not the easier way that we got in by Prabhupada. Like if somebody reads the Vedic texts or scriptures on his own, Srimad Bhagavatam without translation or without purport of Prabhupada, what will you get from that? You will not understand that. But then Prabhupada has made it so simpler. Means he has laid the supreme mercy to every jiva, whether it is qualified or not. Sometimes some disciple came and he said that Lord Chaitanya gave upon Haridas Thakur or something, some past time, I don't remember exact thing. But then he said that he is the supreme person of Godhead, but I can't give upon you because I am dependent on you. So Prabhupada is not dependent on us, but then to give the jiva that mercy, he is saying like that, because if he is giving his mercy, if he is laying his mercy to the jiva, then the supreme person of Godhead, he is automatically going to give that to him, isn't it? So Prabhupada is more merciful, means Bali Maharaj or any of the Mahajanas for that case, because the way he gave it, like who knew about Krishna over here, or who could understand Krishna, isn't it? There were sometimes that some people coming in the kirtan and dancing and in ecstasy, men and women throwing their clothes, like this is not culture. But then Prabhupada taught them this culture, We have this case of this Russian model who used to wear so low clothes, right below this point. And now she is wearing sari, and as a Vaishnavi she is preaching to others. So who is going to do this? Like Janak Maharaj did this, when he was passing from the hellish planet. And he, by his mercy, they got relieved of the distress. So Prabhupada gave it to, even Prabhupada was worried of the, smallest beings. Like once one butterfly or some ant or butterfly came and Prabhupada wanted to give her also the mercy. So that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to do. But Prabhupada gave in reality, I have seen so many devotees following that footsteps. I have seen one devotee in Pune. He was keeping some charnamrut in one spoon so that, and I saw many, maybe hundreds of ants coming and drinking that. So that is because of Prabhupada. He thought that, they will get a human form and they are drinking charnamrut. So what will happen to them? They will get the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So if you see even the devotees' activities, the way we are trying to, various devotees are doing various ways. There are devotees, disciples of Prabhupada, who are ordered to do Sankirtan or book distribution, and they are doing from that time daily in and out, whatever the time of the year. And so this is the mercy that he has laid out. Even unqualified people. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Namo Mahavadanyaya, isn't it? Krishna Prem Pradayate. So he is giving that even to the most fallen. But then Prabhupada is giving to such people that he said that Haridas Thakur was rejected by the Supreme Godhead because he is the Supreme, but I am not like that, I can't reject you. So the thing is, he wants to give mercy. On that level, he is, that's what maybe, I can't say what Yashomati Nandan Prabhu, but this is what I understand from what I heard till late from various devotees. Anybody has any question? Anybody else? Mataji's? Okay, Prabhu. Just one second. Everybody has, means taken grains to break their fast. If not, they can take, it's like 8:44. You can take from outside. You have 2 minutes. Maybe you can go and break the fast, Prabhu. Not an issue. Anyway.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, you were mentioning that prayer in Bali Maharaj. I think it was, what were you saying? Even if you had the whole universe, you would never be satisfied. A person who's not satisfied can never be happy. There's another prayer that I really like in those series of prayers that Krishna especially favors somebody when he's surrounded by opulence, but he's not bewildered by such things. He's surrounded by means for sense gratification, but he's fixed in his service. That's when Krishna truly favors somebody. But then there's another prayer in the in the 10th canto. It's 10:88:8. The Prabhupada always quotes it that and Krishna especially favors somebody, he takes away all his possessions. So how do you reconcile these two statements? Which situation is more favorable, when you're surrounded by opulence and you're not bewildered by it, or when Krishna takes everything away from you?
Yeah. Very nice question. So the point is, there are you see contradiction in both the things. One is favored where everything is taken from him, isn't it? Like it is in Choraga Ashtakam that Karomi Bhiksham Patigehinam. One who is blessed by the Supreme Godhead, he takes everything from him, isn't it? That's what we see. And in some cases, he favors them with immense wealth, isn't it? That's what you want to clarify on this. So the point is, he may give opulence to one devotee who knows, who is not attracted by the glare of illusion, or who is not glad by the opulence offered to him. There is case of Yudhishthir Maharaj. He won't be affected, isn't it? So, or Amrish Maharaj, so. For him, he will give that opulence. Or for somebody some devotee is there, we may see, like the case of Sudama. He is not affected even if he is given wealth, or if he is like a pauper, isn't it? That's the mid case also is there, that he was later given, but then it's the case where he was ready to accept whatever the Lord gave him, isn't it? So, and if somebody is he is affected by that, in that case, he may pull. It's inconceivable to understand, maybe the Pandavas were put into so much difficulties, but then that was to establish dharma. The Pandavas were not affected whether they didn't had, because why would Arjun's, when in the first chapter, why would you give up, he wanted to give up everything, the whole kingdom, and wanted to become a beggar. So, sometimes it may affect the devotee, if his condition that it may affect, then Krishna may pull the strings. Like example, in harmonium, here it is a sa tune. So that only you have to press, isn't it? If it is the re, you have to press. So for different people, it may be different, It may not. It's not that stereotype, Krishna acts stereotype. It may be different for a different person. So it depends, what level of surrender, what is his karma, which way he is practicing devotion. So many factors are there. Like here are 10 people, here are 8 of them. If you cook paneer sabji, he will cook in a different way, he will cook in different way, he will cook. And the person honoring that, he may get, somebody may like the way he has cooked, somebody may like the way he has cooked, somebody may like the way he has cooked. So, it's the way they have put into their activities. So, Krishna is not, partial or unfavorable to anybody. He is laying according to what the person is capable to take. Like, Prabhupada was given Prabhupada was been sent as the Senapati Bhakt. Why not me, or why not somebody from us? Because he has the capacity, he is not affected by the glare of illusion. We may get immediately affected. So many Indians, they came from from India, and they settle here. They came as pujaris or some service they came, and they ended up being here and getting married over here. So many things happened. So they were sent by their Guru Maharaj for some seva. But then the point is, anyway, that so many people, means the Lord is not putting anything in front of anybody. It's how the devotee is there. According to that, he is laying the things for him. So if somebody, by taking his opulence, if he is coming closer to Krishna, then Krishna will do that because he loves him. Sometimes some person is taking some, in India, if somebody is taking intoxication, then the father may slam him. Or if he knows that after slamming him also, he is not going to change, then he will tell him in a gentle way. The father is the person is the same, but then according to the way his child is, he is telling him. So, because the Lord the Lord has supreme intelligence. There is no one like in this past time. Bali Maharaj, he took from Bali Maharaj in such a way that nobody would they understood. But then Bali Maharaj, what view he had towards the Lord knew. And what was Shukracharya's views, everything was known. So, it is ye yatha mam prapadyante. Or sometimes it's like the Lord knows, what is beneficial for you. So it's like we can't, the way I said, it's not stereotype. It can go any ways for anybody. Or else, wow, then how come he's the Supreme Lord if he doesn't understand what will work for you? What may work for you, that may not work for him. Isn't it? We came from the same airlines, Ethiopian Airlines, and they let us, our G-tins were allowed the baggage to go, but we didn't receive here. And his tins they didn't allow, and he had to leave it somebody, and that person cheated. So same thing, same place, but different things happened. So it's with an ordinary airline, but the Supreme Lord, he has complete view of the whole world view. What is going to work where? Like 1,000 years and do. Nobody offered would be here. Isn't it? He gives a simple method, chant Hare Krishna. You can chant on the street, you can chant in the bar, you can chant anywhere. I gave a card to one poor lady in Ireland in the bar, and she took the book there, and maybe she must, when I was sitting, she may remember the mantra, or we never know. Anyway, I hope this satisfies you. Anybody else? For the Prabhus? Matajis? Okay. So if nobody has questions, so we'll end over here. Shri Vaman Dwadashi ki, Srila Jeev Goswami ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.